Welcome to Conversations of Hope, shining light on the journey of healing from abuse and trauma. I'm Faith Ingraham of Speaking Truth in Love Ministries.
And I'm Michelle Viscuse from Journey Pink. As survivors and advocates, we're here to support, educate, and inspire. Whether you're a survivor of abuse, a friend, family member, or a professional working with survivors, this podcast is for you.
We're breaking the silence that allows abuse to thrive, offering insights for healing and tools for effective support.
Our goal is to create a safe community of understanding, healing, and hope for survivors and their allies.
Visit conversationsofhopepodcast.org for resources and more information. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Welcome back to Conversations of Hope. And today, Dena Schrock is with us again, and she was with us on our last session, and we're going to continue our conversation with her. And if you didn't listen to our last podcast, make sure that you go back and catch that, because there will be some information in that we may not cover in this one. Dena, it's really good to have you back. And last time we talked a little bit about you're leaving the Amish, and then you ended up getting divorced because your daughter was abused. And since you've left the Amish and after your divorce, you had to start a new life for yourself. And I understand that when you leave the Amish, most people don't have a GED. They have an 8th grade education. And most of them do not have Social Security numbers. So can you walk us through that process and then maybe talk a little bit about the whole process of starting your ministry, Voices of Hope, and what that is like? And so I'm just going to let you go with what God leaves on your heart.
Okay. I'm so glad to be here with you ladies again. And yeah, as Faith said, go back and watch the other video because you'll hear my Amish story a little bit more. And when I did leave the Amish, I didn't have a Social Security number. I had 8th grade education because women, they're like stay-at-home moms and they raise babies and they do the housework. So when I left, I'm like, I want to get a Social Security number in case I need it. So MAP Ministry, which is Joe Kine and his ministry, they helped me get my Social Security number, and it was quite a process. He had to write a letter. I did have a birth certificate, but he had to write a letter, and I needed 2 other documentations, doctor record, and rate cards from school or something. It was quite a process, but I did get my Social Security number, and then after I had left about, I'd say it would have been 15 years. It was 2013 when I graduated with my GED, and not knowing whether I'll ever need, but I just felt like it's something that I want, because you never know if you need some more education to what you want to do in life. So that was my next step. Got my GED. And then after my divorce, I really realized I got to do something. And before that, I was starting to get my feet wet in different things just to try to figure out what I want to do when my kids grow up. Because I was a stay-at-home mom and I really valued that, raising my kids. But I also knew time changes, they grow up, and I might want to do something different. And then after my divorce, 2 years Yeah, it was 2 years after. I wasn't sure. I lived in Ohio at the time, and I was cleaning some houses, and I was taxi driving Amish people, and I was getting so tired of being around. I grew up in the Amish and around the Amish. I always liked around the Amish. And not that they're bad people, but like I felt like I needed a different scenery and a different environment. And I asked my kids, I said, can we move to a different state? Like just away from all this? And so I mentioned a couple different states, and I didn't know what I would do necessarily if we do choose to move until an opportunity came up that I could have a cleaning business. And I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. I know how to clean and I could figure things out. I never run a business, and it's definitely something to learn because you need insurance, you need books to work with your everything, payroll, and it's a lot to learn when you have never done it before. So I did end up moving to Florida with one of my daughters. The other one was in college. The boys were still in high school. So they wanted to finish high school in Ohio with their friends. So of course I'm like, yeah, I understand. And it was a little immature of me, maybe to, I feel maybe a little bit too soon for me to move when they still wanted to be there to finish high school. But they're now all graduated and they're doing well. But I did miss out on the youngest, his last couple years of school. But yeah, as far as the business goes, though, it's going very well here in Florida. I stayed really busy, and I love hiring Amish girls, those that come out. I have made it to really focus on hiring those girls that come out and they might need a home or they might have a home down here and need a job. They also come out like I did. Some have social security numbers, some don't. And most of the time, they don't have a car, they don't have a driver's license yet. So I helped them navigate that. The girl that's with me now, I helped her get her driver's license. And she's working with me, and I find really great joy in helping those girls that come out and trying to help them get established and figure out what they want to do. The one girl that was here, she's 19 and she knew what she wants to do. She wants to get her GED. She wants to go to nursing school. And so she's working on that. She's working at a assisted living facility. And I was able to get her that job through connections I had. And she's doing great. That fills my heart when I see them make decisions.
So you're like empowering the young women in the new path of life that they've chosen for themselves and helping them establish who they are and helping them get a step up in fulfilling their goals. And you also started Voices of Hope. Can you tell us a little bit about what caused you to start that group and what your vision is for that group?
Yeah, so I started Voices of Hope back in 2017. It launched in 2018. That was first conference was April of 2018. And I had just some ladies come alongside me and help me get started. The reason it got started, I was doing Facebook Live videos and sharing my story on Facebook. And a local lady in Ohio was like, "You need to do a conference." And I'm like, "Okay, I'd love to, but how?" And so "I'll help you get started." She really got good connections, and then she helped with the first conference to connect with the right people for the place. And then I had other ladies just get Jen and help with organizing it, and it went very well. We had about 80 ladies the first conference, and we did, I want to say we had 6 speakers, I think, right around there. It was not near as well organized as it is now. A couple years later, I'm very excited and proud to always come to the conference and see the people who volunteer and the difference that we make. We all pitch in and help each other, and the speakers. It takes a lot to share in front of an audience your story and how you have overcome and how you have dealt with things. And I can see it's very uplifting and encouraging to the audience. And that's what inspires me the most, is to hear those who walk away and are encouraged and can't wait to come back. And that keeps me going.
Now, when you started Voices of Hope, was it mainly plain women that were attending? And has it grown so there are more English and Amish, or plain? I should say plain, because there's Amish and Mennonite. There's different variances. And I think what I noticed, there are some people that have never been from the plain community. There are some people that are still in the plain community. And then there are some that have left the plain community. And at least that's my observation the last couple of years that I've attended.
Yeah, so I think when we started, I felt most comfortable with ladies who left the Amish, or I knew them better. So those are the ladies I went to for like help, to see if they want to share their story, to see if they want to be a part of it. So I feel like the first conference, we might have had most of them ex-Amish speakers. I think we had Phyllis Schweitzer, which was a good friend of mine that was in my church. Otherwise, I think I had mostly ex-Amish speakers, but that was mainly because I knew them, and I didn't want to put anyone up there that I didn't know. So I think it has grown a lot because I've gotten to know more people. And we also started doing the panel, which helps us bring in new speakers. We have them on the panel, and then they can figure out whether it might be for them to be up there sharing. So that's one thing that we do also. And then we do small groups, which I think is one of the best feedbacks we get, is the small groups and how people are able to open up. So everybody gets an opportunity to share a little bit something, and they don't have to if they don't want to, but it is a safe place for ladies to share and to feel heard. and to be loved on. And that's the goal, is to make them feel heard.
I think, too, a lot of women, and especially in the plain community, feel like they don't have a voice. So I think it's great, the name that you chose, Voices of Hope. It's like giving them back their voice and giving them a platform to use it.
Yeah.
And it's so well organized. And this year, like the speakers, their message, no one knew what they were going to say, but then we would go into small group and it was the topic of what they had just shared. And so I think there was just incredible healing. I know I experienced healing being there, and you can just tell that you were so inspiring to the women. Like they wanted to hear more about your story and about you. And it's really inspiring to have you there. It was awesome. I had a great time. Highly recommend it. It's wonderful.
Thank you. And I hope to have you back again.
I loved it.
Yeah.
My mom did too. My mom was like, if you go again, I want to go.
Yeah. But what's interesting is people are interested in your story, but it wasn't all about you. You made it about them. Every person that attended, they didn't have to be a speaker, because like the small groups, we made it, your story matters. And each of us has a different story, and it doesn't really matter if our story isn't this other person's story. Our story is important, and God is part of that story. And that's the thing. You want to bring hope to people, not just leave them in their story, not just have them share their story of hopelessness and helplessness and being beat down. We want to give them hope. There is hope in Christ. And that's the whole point of the conference, is to offer hope. We don't just share our stories of woe is me, I'm a victim. We want to be overcomers.
Yes.
And then we share our stories of hope.
Yeah. Very true. Yeah.
And you have been a great overcomer. You have overcome a lot. Just coming out of the Amish, the struggles, that whole new culture that you had to learn because you were brought up in a totally different culture, and then having to go through a divorce and navigate that road. And how do I survive as a single mom? And how do I provide for my kids? And how do I grow as a woman? And you keep getting up and keep going, and not just laying down and giving up.
Yeah.
And then not only that, you're giving back. You're helping others. And I think that's what was like so inspiring to hear, because you didn't speak long. You just shared a little bit of your story that day. But for the person who maybe was sitting there thinking, there's a chance that I could get away and I can have hope. And not only that, look at what you didn't just run and get away. You went away, did your thing. You've accomplished a lot on your own. And now you are coming back and extending your hand and saying, come with me, I'll help you. I've been here. I know what to do and I can help you. And I just think that's wonderful. Yeah, absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I wouldn't have started Voices of Hope if I didn't have no voice growing up, or in the Amish. I didn't have a voice. So this really inspired me to create something to help women believe in themselves, and that God has given them a voice. We all have a voice, and it matters. Your story matters. And so it's inspiring. It lifts, it fills me, and I think, I know God is in it, and I know it's the right thing to do at this time. I've had times where I was like, oh, do I keep going? Do I not keep? We question things, and it's all good to question things. But I'm very inspired. I just, when I'm excited about something, I know it's the right thing. And when I have peace in my heart, I know it's the Lord. And so I can't wait until the next conference. I'm excited for the next conference.
Yes. Yes, me too. And I'm so happy that you came on again to share your story and a little bit about what God's doing for you. And you are such an inspiration to so many women that can look to you and say, she can do it. I can do it. And knowing that God's with us every step of the way. And it's not easy, but we know that God's with us and he'll get us through it. But just seeing how you've taken all of these steps with God's help and have made such progress in your life. I know it's still hard at times, but your life is an inspiration and you offer hope to so many people just by being who you are.
Thank you. And people like you have had great influence in my life too. And I really value those who stuck with me and not left me. People come and go, and I do really appreciate those who have the same desire to help women.
Dena, before we go, is there anything that you would like to share with our listeners?
Yeah, I would just like to say, if you're a mom, if you're a single mom or a single woman going through separation, divorce for some whatever reason, just know that it will get better. And I know I was told that too. And I was like, I can't see it. I don't feel it. I can't see it. And you know what? Time is your precious jewel. If you're going through that, give yourself time. I know that day by day, it feels like nothing changes. But I tell you, it does. If you survive one day, you get another day. And eventually, it's a slow progress. It might feel like that, but I'm living proof. It does change. And it just takes time. The first year was super, super hard for me. And the second year also, but it looked a little brighter. And then from there, it progressed. It takes time to heal and it takes time to just overcome. And I believe your life will be better.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dena, for being on, and thank you for sharing your story and sharing hope and inspiring our listeners. We appreciate you. You've overcome some challenges, and not only did you overcome them, but you are pointing others to hope in Jesus so that they too can overcome challenges. So thank you for all that you do. Thank you for Voices of Hope and sharing the conference information with our listeners. And hopefully we will see you again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. We hope this episode of Conversations of Hope has been a source of comfort and inspiration.
Remember, you are not alone on this journey of healing.
Visit conversationsofhopepodcast.org for more resources and information.
Please subscribe or follow and share with those who might need this message of hope. Until next time, keep hope alive.